Just closed one of my recent deals, and despite what many tried to convey, lending is not always pretty. I'll tell you why next. So yes, more often than not, lending is not pretty, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Case in point, one of my recent deals was a scenario where the client just needed to make an offer, so they used a pre-approval letter from another lender that neglected to understand the client's scenario. So now this client was under legal contract for purchase using a primary home loan product on a property that was intended to be an investment property all along, because they had never intended on moving out of their current primary, which would have been considered occupancy fraud, punishable by up to 20 years in prison and up to $5 million in fines to the client, just for assuming that the other lender had their back. Not to mention, the client's income was never verified prior to pre-approval, so their offer letter was never any good anyways. So they were self-employed and were in the process of phasing out one business and ramping up another, which can be problematic from an approval standpoint. Long story short, we got the deal done, being creative and resourceful using bank statements instead of tax returns, but only after attempting to qualify for 2 other programs that ultimately did not fly after income had been fully calculated. And all this takes valuable time once under contract, and we had to do it all while the clock was ticking on the transaction period, multiple contract extensions, and the seller and listing agent losing their minds. Not pretty, but in some cases, we just have to take pride in the result, knowing that most lenders simply could have not delivered under these circumstances. So what's frustrating, though, is all the pivoting and guesswork could have been eliminated without all the stress if there had been a unified and informed approach from the beginning. So who you work with does matter, but now they're finally enjoying their beautiful investment property. So all's well that ends well. So hopefully that helps. Feel free to introduce me to any of your friends looking to make moves in real estate or wealth planning. Always happy to answer your questions about residential or commercial lending, whether it's a purchase or refinance, or even your business financing needs. And if you're doing well, but just need to get some ducks in a row, schedule your complimentary financial needs analysis with me. No obligation there. Let's get you squared away. Make it a great week.